Are you looking for a fun, versatile bag that you can wear over your shoulder, or you can wear as this crossbody or a sling, or maybe even a fanny pack like a belt bag? I've got the pattern for you. Hi there, I'm Laura, one of the owners and designers here at Rivet Patterns, and today I'm going to show you how to make the new Harmony belt bag and purse. As you can see, the Harmony belt bag and purse comes in 3 sizes, and you've got mini, you have regular, and you have oversized. Now, it's really interesting how this can be used. I really thought that I would lean into the regular size and that would be my go-to size. But what I have found is that the mini is my absolute favorite. If my kids were smaller and I needed to carry diapers and whatnot, I would choose the oversized because it's the perfect size to actually wear on your back or on your front that you can put all your goodies in. So this is a great option. It is big for a crossbody or a sling or a hip bag kind of belt bag situation. It is big for that. I do understand that. But if you have to carry more than just a few things, but you still want to be free without wearing a full-on backpack, this is the one for you. The regular is great if you are not a minimalist in terms of what you carry from day to day. I have become a minimalist, so the mini is for me. This pattern has all the bells and whistles. You will find, let me move this out of the way here. You will find there is an exterior pocket here that has a cover. I did that for a little bit of protection. You don't have to put the cover on if you want to, but I like the way it looks and I like the kind of protection it gives. So you've got a nice deep pocket here. Additionally, there is a zipper pocket that you could put on the inside or the outside, and there's a slip pocket as well. As far as the straps are concerned, you have 3 sizes to choose from. 3/4 inch, 1 inch, and 1.5 inch. It's totally up to you which you choose. I love the 1.5 inch for everything, regardless of the size of my bag. So if I make a mini for a crossbody or a belt bag, I'm going to use the 1.5 inch because that's just what I like. But I wanted to provide as many options as possible to get the look and the feel that we like. We all have personal preferences of things that feel right on our bodies. So I wanted to give that as an option. Now, I would not use a 3/4 inch, the little 3/4 inch strap for these bigger sizes. That really is great for the purse and is great for the mini. You could use 3/4 inch for a regular sized purse, but I would not recommend it for something oversized. You just need more oomph in your strap, and you need to balance it visually. So what we have as an option is we have a purse style. Now I used a chain purse strap, which I think is perfect for this bag in particular. So you have the purse option. You can do it on any size that you like. And I used a 3/4 inch here. You have the belt bag version, okay? At the end of the tutorial, you will find that I give instructions, I give instructions for the D-ring and the swivel clip type of strap. I like this simply because I can make a bunch of different straps and use them on all my bags. So everything is kind of interchangeable. I don't like for things to feel permanent always. Sometimes it's fine, but I did that on purpose for this. However, if you like to use the side release buckle, I have a blog post and a video to show you how to add that to this bag. So regardless of what you are into, I have you covered. Now, let's take a look at my favorite make so far. Right here is another mini. I love this bag so much. First of all, it's made with chicken fabric, and you can't go wrong with chicken fabric. That's all I'm saying. Even if it doesn't match my outfit, I tend to wear it. It's just the cutest thing. Mini has turned into my favorite, and I'll show you what I put inside of mine, and I have extra room for more. So this is for your minimalist that carries not a lot, doesn't require a lot. I am that girl. I have a decent sized wallet. I have the necessary Altoids, and I have my lip gloss. Now, I can easily fit my phone in here. I have an iPhone, so I can easily fit my phone in here. And if I need any personal items, feminine products, whatever, I have room for this as well. So here you can see, this is what it looks like. Now, I'm going to turn it inside out so that you can see what the lining looks like. So here's what the lining looks like. In this particular one, in the mini, I find personally that the inner zipper pocket just doesn't do anything for me. It just doesn't have a lot of room, including if I did it on the outside. I like a plain front on the mini. That's just me personally. I just don't feel like when the pockets are really tiny, they don't have a lot of use for me personally. So, but I did put the slip pocket in here. So my phone will fit in here. And I can put anything extra that I might need in there with plenty of space to fit all my necessities. This literally is a necessities type of bag. As you can see, the inside is bound. Okay, and I'm not perfect at binding, and you may not be either. Don't sweat it. It's no big deal. Once you fill the bag, nobody's going to see it. Nobody cares. They just look at the awesome chickens on the outside. This is a perfect bag. I adore this bag. So, let's put it back together here. I'm going to add my wallet. Let me grab my phone. See, my phone fits perfectly in there with plenty of room. My Altoids, my lip gloss, and I still have room for anything extra I might need, and it closes with no problem, as you can see. So it is very small, but man, does it pack a mighty punch. It really covers everything. Let's talk about fabric. I designed this bag to be a soft bag. I didn't want it to be super rigid. Now, you could use vinyl and whatever to make it a little more, give it a little more oomph, but I was going for the overall belt bag look. So something soft, something sporty, and then I wanted us to be able to dress it up. So I'm going to talk to you about the fabrics that I chose. With each of these makes, I used a different fabric. This one is a cotton canvas with a cotton lining. This is nylon ripstop with cotton lining. Originally, that's what this pattern was made for, and it is awesome. I love the look of the ripstop. I love the feel of the ripstop. I love the way it sews. It gives that perfect squishy look. This is vegan leather. This is really nice. This was a really soft vegan leather. It was really easy to work with, and it looks great. It kind of classes it up, if you will, so it gives you more of the formal look if you want, and also has cotton lining. This is quilting cotton with quilting cotton lining. I love them all. I did try it with waterproof canvas as the lining. And while I did achieve one, as you can see, it worked, right? But, and it's super pretty. It's a very, very stiff bag. Waterproof canvas is very stiff for this project. I actually tried it with another one and ended up throwing it away because I just did not enjoy working with a waterproof canvas on this particular project. But as you can see, it turned out super cute, but I would never do it again for this project. Just difficult, for me, difficult to work with. But I also quilted this, the outer on this one. It's cute though, right? I love it. So if you want to use waterproof canvas, by all means, use what you like to use. That's totally fine. I can't guarantee that the look is going to be the same or the feel is going to be the same. The one that I use the waterproof canvas on is very, very stiff. And if I emptied all of these, you would see that they're not stiff. This is a soft bag. It's not stiff at all. It's not meant to be stiff. However, you're making the bag. So if you want to use something more stiff that you're familiar with, that you love, and you love this look, have at it. You do you and make that bag. This is my favorite bag. I just love it so much. I wear it literally everywhere. It's perfect in every way. So, you want to make a bag together? Let's do it. It's time to get started on our step-by-step tutorial of the Harmony belt bag and purse. Today, I am going to be showing you every single step how we achieve this look. Now, let's start out by looking at our pattern pieces. First, I have my webbing for my strap and my strap connectors. I've got my hardware. For this one, I'm using 2 D-rings, a adjustable buckle, and 2 swivel clips. I'm doing the 1.5 inch webbing. We also need 1/2 inch double fold bias tape, which I have here. I've made my own. So I've got a bunch of that. I've got my 3 zippers that I will need. This is for the outside pocket, this is for the inside pocket, and this is for the main opening. I have my outer panels here and here. I have my slip pocket, my gusset, my zipper panels over here. I've got my main outer, I've got my 2 linings, and then I have 3, I've done them in different colors, 3 pocket linings. 1, 2, 3. All right, that's for our pockets. Okay, I think that's everything, and we are ready to get started. All right, so here we are. We're going to be working with our webbing first. If you're making your own straps and not using the webbing, I'm going to link in the description box below, and hopefully in the video you'll be able to see instructions for how to do that if you need it. I'm going to grab my D-ring, and I am going to bring this through here, just like this. If you're making the handbag, hold on for just a second because I'm going to show you how to do that as well. All right. And if you're going to be using a side release buckle, I'm going to show you how to do that in a separate video, and that link will be in the description box below. So every option is going to be covered in the video, so you will have access to that. So now I'm going to head onto my sewing machine, and I'm going to stitch as close to the bar as possible without going through. Okay, here we are. Now it's time to move on to the next step. Now, if you're using nylon webbing, we highly recommend that you melt these frayed edges so that they don't fray. All right, it's time to grab our strap tabs. We have 2 sets of strap tabs. It says to place 1 strap tab right side up. Now we're going to center one of our strap connectors on the short straight edge on the right side. So this is the top, this is the short straight edge on the right side. So it's going to go like this. You want to center it there and give it a clip. Okay, and then you're going to take the piece that corresponds with it and you're going to place it right side down, matching those edges. And you're going to do that with both of them. Clips here. So I would go ahead and just clip all around. You just want everything to be where you want it to be. Now I will take the clip off of the long raw edge here, that just to help you. You're not going to sew across this long raw edge. All right, so you're just going to sew here, here, and here, 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 and here. Now be really careful. You've got a D-ring in there. So you just want to take your time to make sure you don't hit that D-ring with your needle. So let's do that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clip my corners, and I am even going to trim my seam allowance down here. If you used a 1/4 inch seam allowance, you do not have to trim your seam allowance at all. But since I used a 1/2 inch for the most part. Okay, so there's one. I also clipped my corners. I did not trim where my webbing is. I did not trim that. I want that to stay as secure as possible, so. Okay. Now we're going to turn this right side out, so give your webbing a little pull. Okay, let's press these just quickly. And I just like to give them a little clip just to keep it together. It doesn't matter. You could also trim off this little piece here if it's bugging you, so you have a straight edge there. All right, we're ready to work on our strap. I've got my strap piece here in the webbing. There's already in the description box below a link for how to do this with fabric. I've got my adjustable buckle, my 2 swivel clips. Now, if you're going to use a side release buckle, make sure you check out the blog post link in the description box below. That is a tutorial for how to do this, how to install this to this pattern. This is not, the side release buckle is not part of the tutorial, but it is a free tutorial on our website, and there is a video to go along with it to help you get that look. Okay, so let's move on. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take one raw edge of our webbing here, and we've got our adjustable buckle. We're going to bring it up one side and down the other, just like this. Okay, then we're going to fold this in about 3/8 of an inch, give or take, and then another 1/2 inch or so, and we can clip it if we want or not. Now we're going to head to our sewing machine, and we're going to stitch along here. Additionally, if you have rivets, you can use rivets for this part as well, which is what I will be doing. Okay, so here we go. We've got our rivets in, or your stitch line across there. Now you're going to take one of your swivel clips and place that other raw end through. This is what it's going to look like. Okay, then you're going to bring your buckle up. You're going to bring it up, your raw edge up through one side and down through the other, just like that. Oops. And it's adjustable at that point. Now, take our other swivel clip, bring that raw edge through. We're going to fold it down about 3/8 of an inch and then another 1/2 inch. And you'll want to stitch across there again, or as I'm going to do, I'm going to put rivets. Okay, so here we are. Now, you need to test the length of this. You might have to adjust this for whoever you're making this for, bigger or smaller. This is a 45 or 44 inch piece of webbing. And when you add that to the actual bag itself, it depends on which bag you're making. It will be bigger or smaller. It just depends on how the person is going to wear it and the size of their body. So take that into consideration. My standard shoulder strap or crossbody shoulder strap is 60 inches long for other bags, so you can do that as well. It's up to you and what your needs are. Feel free to adjust this as necessary. Let's set that to the side. If you're making the purse, you are not going to be connecting this to your webbing. You are just going to have this. This is what you're going to have. You're going to have your D-ring connected to your strap connector, and then you're going to set that aside for later. You're not going to add this triangle piece. This angled piece is just for the belt bag, or if you're going to wear it kind of across your body a little bit, flatly, like a belt bag or fanny pack would be worn by some. But if you're doing just the purse, it's just the D-rings and the strap connectors, and then you're going to set those aside. Okay, let's move on to our bag. Here are your 2 front options. All right, these are the other 2 sizes. I'm working on the oversized bag today. This is the regular size. This is the mini. There are 2 front options here. You can do the zipper, where you have a zipper pocket, okay, at the very front, okay, and it has a covered zipper on purpose for safety purpose. Well, first of all, it looks nice, but you don't have to use this cover if you don't want. You could do without if you'd like, but this is like for safety purposes, and overall, it just kind of gives it a nice clean look. But you could do this version, or you could do a plain version with no zipper at all. The mini, I like to do without the zipper because it's just such a small pocket, and I'm not going to use it as much, so I like it plain. So you could put your tag on it, you could do whatever you want on it, or I did one that has chickens on it, and I can show you that. But these are your 2 options. If you're doing the plain, you are, and you're not putting a pocket of any kind on it, you're going to take one of your outers, all right, and you lay it out so the full outer will look like this, okay? One of your outers, you're going to put it wrong side up, and then you're going to take your lining, and you're going to put it wrong side down, so they're wrong sides together, and then you're going to baste them together. That's it, right? That's your whole side, front side prepped. If the back side is also plain, you're going to do the same thing, and then you're ready to move on to the other construction aspects of the bag. Today, we are going to do this version where we've got a pocket in the front that is covered. Okay. And this is what it, well, and then we've got this inner pocket here. Let's do that. All right. The instructions say to place a lower panel lining piece right side up. So here's our lower panel. And here's our lining piece right side up. Okay. We need to grab the correct zipper for this and some clips. All right. Now it says position the front zipper right side up. I'm lining up this raw edge here. So just like this, I'm going to give it a couple of clips. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to take my lower main panel, outer, and I'm going to place it right side down. So our lining and our outer are right side together. And I'm going to line up the sides and that top edge and clip those into place. Now you can do this in 2 steps if you'd like. You can baste the zipper to the lining first, or you can do it all in 1 step like I'm doing. All right. So now I'm going to go to my sewing machine and using a zipper foot, I'm going to stitch across here. Let's do it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pull these pieces apart. You can press your outer away from the zipper first. Just be careful of your zipper that you don't melt it. And then we want to press our lining away from the zipper. Now you can see I cut my zipper a little bit longer. I just like having a little bit extra to work with in case I've made a mistake. I prefer to use zipper tape. I don't remember the last time I just bought a pre-measured zipper. Zipper tape is amazing. All right, so now I'm going to head over to my sewing machine. I'm going to top stitch along this edge. Okay, here we are. Everything looks great. Now we're ready to move on to the next thing. So again, we need to grab our pressing mat, which I put it away by accident. Okay, and then we're going to grab our zipper cover, which is this piece right here. Our zipper cover. We're going to take our zipper cover and we're going to fold the long sides together. So wrong sides together, matching the long raw edge, and just iron it. Lightly. Perfect, just like that. Now we need our upper main panel lining piece, and we want that to be right side up. We're going to take our completed lower panel and right side up, so the zipper is right side up. We're going to line up the sides and the top edge of the zipper, okay? And we're going to place a couple of clips just to make sure we are all good to go. We're going to take our zipper cover and we're going to line it up. So we are making a pretty big sandwich here. So line up the raw edge of the folded zipper cover with the raw edge of the lining upper and the zipper. And make sure you match those sides. Now we're going to take the outer portion of our upper panel and we're going to put it right side down, and again lining up the sides and the raw edges and zipper tape and the zipper tape. Okay, so what you'll have, you'll have 4 different things happening here. You'll have your upper main lining, that's right side up. Your completed lower main panel is also right side up with your zipper cover, and then your upper main panel outer is right side down. All right, Now we're going to go to our sewing machine and we're going to stitch across there using a zipper foot. Just like we did with the lower main panel, we need to press the lining and the main up. Now the zipper cover stays down, so don't press that up like that. That won't work. It's meant to cover your zipper. So you're pulling them this direction and you're pressing them away from the zipper, just like this. Repeat that on the back side, on the lining side. Just be careful that you don't melt your zipper. Perfect. Now let's head to our sewing machine and let's top stitch across here. Okay, here we are. Now, don't worry about things if they look a little wonky. We're going to fix that right now. So here's what we've got. It's very cute. Now, I'm going to take the actual pattern piece for the panel, the full panel, and I'm going to line that up here because things get wonky as you cut them, as you sew them, something stretch here and there. But you just want to make sure that everything is the correct size. So if it's not, you're just going to take your panel piece and you are going to just give it a little trace here, and then you're going to trim up your panel. Because the important thing is that they are the same size. Okay? And you could even compare it to like what's already been cut. Okay? Not sure how you got wonky or how I got wonky, but the fact is, I did. So now I'm going to fix it. All right. For this next step, we're going to need 3 different pieces. We need our completed outer, we need a pocket lining, and we need a bag lining. Okay? So this is what we have. All right, we're going to take our main panel lining, and we're going to turn that wrong side up. And we're going to place one of our pocket linings wrong side down. So those are wrong sides together, just like this. So right side of your pocket lining is facing up. So then we're going to take our completed front panel and we're going to place it lining side down. So it's the right side of the lining to the right side of the pocket lining. And we're going to line up all those raw edges. And we're going to put some clips. Now we're going to head to our sewing machine and we're going to baste using 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. Move my zipper out of the way there. We're going to baste all these layers together. The reason why we have 3 of these pocket linings is because if I just did the wrong side of our lining to the right side of our lining, it's going to be interfacing in here. And I don't want interfacing, I want fabric. So this is why there are 3 pocket linings. You'll see why as we move on to our next panel. Okay, now we are going to be working on our inner slip pocket. Now, there are a couple things to think about here. Now, if you want the slip pocket and you want it to have a divider in the middle, you want it on this side of the lining, so it's on the front side of the bag, then you're going to need to add this to the lining before you add the lining to this piece. Otherwise, you're going to have a sewn edge here, and that's not what you want, right? You're going to have that stitch line, and that's not what you want. So, I'm going to actually take one of my other lining pieces here. And I'm going to be placing this here so that I can add a divider here. Now, if you don't want a divider, you can put it over there, but that's how I'm going to do it. All right. So we're going to place our 2 inner slip pockets. We're going to place them right sides together. Then we're going to go to our sewing machine and we're going to stitch using a 1/4 inch seam allowance across this curve. Now let's do some ironing. We want to press these 2 pieces apart, so I'm just going to do this like this first. And this makes it easier to turn this direction. Now I'm going to head back to my sewing machine and I'm going to top stitch along that edge. All right, before I add this to my panel, my lining, I'm going to fold it in half and I just want to press a crease in the center so I know where my stitch line is. Additionally, you can mark this. This is just the easy way to do it, in my opinion. Okay. Now let's grab our lining, our bag lining, and let's line up these raw edges on the bottom. Give it a few clips. So I'm going to head back to my sewing machine and I'm going to use a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'm going to base this together, but then I'm also going to stitch down that crease or that marking so that I have 2 pockets here. Okay, here we are. I've added a rivet here just for a little more stability in that pocket for any pressure that might receive there at the top. Just make sure you backstitch quite a bit and you'll be good. So that we've got our 2 pockets. Now I don't do this for the regular size or the size mini. I find that those pockets are fine just being one long slip pocket because those bags are not very big. With this one though, I feel like 2 pockets is acceptable. All right, set that to the side. Okay, it's time to work on our zipper pocket. Now this can be on the inside, it can be on the outside. It's whatever you think you're going to use the most. The tutorial has it on the inside, so that's what we're going to do today. So we're going to take our lining piece that we just had here, and then we're going to grab one of our pocket linings. You just have to decide which one that is. So I'm going to grab the yellow. Okay, now I'm going to place this right sides together, the pocket lining and the lining. This is just like any other zipper pocket you've ever done. It just doesn't have, it's just not a rectangle piece. Okay, I'm going to clip that in place just so it all stays where I tell it to. Now I'm going to grab my pattern piece because I need to transfer this marking. And I'll show you how I do it. I will mark a dot in each corner.
Double check that those are going through.
Now, because this is your bag and you can do what you want, you could make this shorter if you want, bring it down a little bit, show it to you. All right, so we've got our 4 dots there. Now I just need to connect those dots on the long sides and on the short side. So this is they're half inches apart. They're a half inch apart. And then you can go ahead and mark that center cut line and those if you need to. Okay? So now we're going to head over to our sewing machine and we are going to stitch around that zipper placement marking. Okay, here we go. Now we need to cut down that center line and those triangles. Okay, this is how I do it. I fold it in half, and then I give it a little snip right at that center line, just enough to get my scissors through. And then you're gonna cut to about, oh no, half an inch or so, and then you're gonna carefully snip into those corners without going through that stitch line. If you go through the stitch line, you're gonna have all kinds of problems. Okay, now the other side. All right, now it's time to pull or push that lining, that pocket lining through to the wrong side of our lining. If you snipped in those corners well enough, then you should have a nice clean corner there. If not, you could turn it wrong side out again and then try to snip a little bit closer to that stitch line. But we are going to press this all the way around. No one's going to see this side, so it doesn't have to be 100% perfect. But the other side, you want to be pretty darn close. And look at that. That looks fantastic. I'm very happy with the way this looks. Let's give it another quick press. Nice. All right. Now, this is the window, so to speak, that our zipper is going to go into. All right, so let's take our zipper. We can use wash away like quilting tape. This stuff is a lifesaver. So we're going to place tape across the bottom and the top of the zipper tape. You can use pins to hold this in place if you like. I just like using this because it really does simplify it. So now I'm going to take the bottom paper off, just like that. And I'm going to leave the top one on, okay? This is a nice little trick that I learned from someone. All right, and now I'm going to center this on here. You just lay it on there. You want it centered. And when you like the way that looks, flip that over and take the other, well, put your, get your zipper pull out of the way. Here. And now let's take the paper off the other side. And drop that over. And it should line up the way you want it to. If not, just make little adjustments here and there as necessary. Yeah, I think we're looking pretty decent. Okay, so now that I have that, I'm going to go to my sewing machine and I'm going to top stitch about 1/8 of an inch from this edge here to get my zipper all installed. Let's do it. So this is what it looks like from the wrong side. All right, here we are. This is what our zipper looks like. Very nice. Now, if you have a preference to which side your zipper zips and unzips, pay attention to that when you're putting all of your zippers together. I don't really have a preference, so I don't know. I try to keep them all going the same direction, but sometimes I forget. All right, so here's what it looks like. You could trim this excess off if you like, but you don't have to. All right, now we're going to take our finished lining and we're going to place it wrong side up. And then we're going to take our last pocket panel here, our pocket piece. We cut 3 of them, remember? And we're going to place it right side down. So that means the right side of the pocket, the one pocket lining piece, and the right side of the last pocket lining piece are going to go right side together, just like this. All right. Now, you can then base this together if you like, or you could take your last outer panel and place that wrong side down, so it's wrong sides together with that last pocket panel. And clip it a few times. All right, so what you have here then is you have your lining panel with the zipper that we just did. It is lining side up. Then you have your last pocket lining, which is right side down. So that puts the pocket lining, right side together. And then the outer, the back outer, wrong side down. So it's wrong sides together with that last pocket lining, just like that. So it looks like this from one side and like this from the other. And no worries, we'll trim up what we need to trim up, no problem, okay? Now we're gonna head to our sewing machine and we are going to baste using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, give or take, around these edges. All right, now that we have done that, that's what the inside will look like. This is what the outside will look like. It's time to get our strap connector placement together. So if you are making the crossbody, the fanny pack, the belt bag, and you're going to be using these, this is what we're going to do. Next, I will show you how to do the purse, okay? So we need to place some markings. You can either use pens or clips. You've got them on your pattern piece, so we need to line those up there. Okay, now I'm going to take my strap connector here. It needs to come like this. So this angle piece is going to be at the bottom. This is the top, just like your pattern piece told you. All right. Now I'm going to head over to my sewing machine and I'm going to baste those on. All right, here's what we've got. This is our back panel, and we've got our strap connectors there. If you're doing the purse, let's look at the purse. If you're doing the purse, you're going to grab your gusset piece and your strap connectors, and you're going to center your strap connectors on your gusset piece. So you're going to skip this step that we just did, okay? Just like that. And then you're going to baste those to your gusset. And there you have them basted on. All right. Now it's time. We're going to move our panels to the side. We need to grab our zipper panels and our main zipper. Now you can see I put 2 zippers on mine. That's up to you, whatever you feel like you want to do. You do not have to do that. Okay, so now we're going to take one of our zipper panel lining pieces and we're going to place it right side up. Then we're going to take our zipper and we're going to center it up. Now again, look at the zipper. I made the zipper longer than I need it to be. I use zipper tape for that reason. It's just safety on my part. Zipper tape is awesome. If you've never used it, it's time. Go use this stuff. We're going to line up one edge of the zipper tape with the one long raw edge of the lining zipper panel here. I know this looks familiar. Okay, now let's take the outer zipper panel, one of those, and we're going to place that right side down, lining up all the raw edges. Now let's go to our sewing machine using our zipper foot, and let's attach this. We are going to press each of these away from the zipper. Be careful you don't mount your zipper. Now we're going to head back to our sewing machine and we are going to top stitch along that sewn edge. So top stitch along here, about 1/8 of an inch. Okay, our top stitching is done and it looks great. I'm super excited about this. This fabric is gorgeous. All right, now we're going to take our other lining piece and we're going to put it right side up. We're just repeating what we just did. We need to line up all those edges. Now let's grab our outer and we're going to place that right side down. So your lining is right side up, your zipper panel is right side up, and your outer is right side down. And now let's go to our sewing machine, sew those together. Okay, let's pull these away from the zipper just like we did the other side. All right, everything looks awesome. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go top stitch, and then I'm going to baste these edges together just to keep them from flopping around. Now we can, let me see, get rid of any loose threads that we might have, but we can also trim down our zipper if we need to. I like to double check that everything is the length that it is supposed to be, and it is perfect. Now we're going to grab our gusset. The first thing I want to do is double check the width of my zipper panel here. It should be exact, and it is on my end. If it's not, trim down one or the other. All right, we're going to start with our gusset lining, right side up. The zipper panel, right side up. It's going to look like this. Okay, don't freak out. Everything's fine. And then our outer, right side down. We're going to pin and clip this short edge here. So as many as you need. Now what we're going to do, I want to show you the difference here. Okay, so you see that the gusset is longer than the zipper panel. That's okay. So let's pull the zipper panel over to match the other short edge. Line that up and give it a couple clips. Okay, so it will look, the gusset will be longer on both the regular and the oversized. I'll show you what it looks like on the mini. So this is what we have. So when we go to the sewing machine, we're going to scoot that excess out of the way and we're going to sew down that short edge. For the mini, let me show you here. All right, for the mini, you can see they're exactly the same, right? Now, there's a reason for this. Don't shout me down. I know it's different. But the mini is so small, it needs as much opening as you can get. With the regular and the oversized, the opening doesn't have to be as big. Plus, once you wear it as a purse, if you do it the same way you would the mini, the purse wants to turn out. So that's why I did it the way I did it. So don't freak out. Everything's okay. So, lining right side up. Zipper panel right side up. So that means your lining is right side together. I'm going to give it just a little clip here. Okay, and then your gusset, right side down. So your linings are right side together and your outers are right side together. And then for both of these, we're going to head to our sewing machine and we're going to stitch 1/2 inch seam allowance down the short ends. Okay, so now we just turn it all right side out. Flip that. Here's what we see. Our outers are together. Our linings are together. All right? All right, now that we've turned it right side out, we want to baste these raw edges together so that this doesn't flop around. I've already done this one. If you haven't done the zipper panel, then now is the time. But right now, I'm going to do that. Now, additionally, you can top stitch along here if you like, just to give it more stability there. And I actually may do that, but that is optional. All right, here we go. We've got our tube. And we're ready to start putting things together. All right, the first thing I want to do is find the center of the zipper panel. Okay, you can clip that, you can mark it, you can snip little snips out of it. Just don't go too far in. And now we want to find the center of the bottom gusset. So we're going to line up those side seams. Oops. Give that a little clip. Other side. Everybody has their preferred way of doing it. Some people like to use pins. Some people like to use clips. Some people like to snip that out. That's totally up to you. If you have any like stray interfacing that's kind of hanging out, let's just go ahead and trim that up. That's only going to make your life easier as you put this together. Now we're going to take our front and back pieces and we're going to find the top and bottom centers of those as well. Okay, there we go. All right, now I'm going to take my tube here, my gusset and zipper panel, and turn it to where the lining is out, like this. Grab some clips. I'm going to place, you need to place your outers right side together. So this needs to be right side together with this, and we're going to match our center markings, the center of the top panel. I just want to do a couple of clips. I've marked the center and then like one on either side just to keep it on place. Now I'm going to take the bottom of my main panel and I'm going to match it to the center gusset marking. All right, now we're going to go all the way around. So if you find you're having a hard time with this corner here, you could clip about 1/4 of an inch down just to give you more maneuverability if you think that you need it. It should fit perfectly in there. Also, I don't think I told you, but you can clip the corners of your panel piece as well. It just gives a little more maneuverability. It makes things just kind of behave themselves. More clips. The more clips you use, the safer you feel. That's totally your call. There's no such thing as too many clips. Okay, to see how I really clip that corner, that is totally fine. All right, fit perfectly. Now what we're going to do, this is what it looks like on the other side. We're going to head to our sewing machine using a 1/2 inch seam allowance. We're going to stitch all the way around here. Take your time. It's okay to go slowly. Now we're going to turn it right side out momentarily. Just we want to check our stitches, make sure nothing is too wonky. We've cut all of the fabric. We don't have any holes. Everything looks the way that it should. And while it's imperfect, it is fantastic. I love it. All right, now turn it back. Lay it up like that. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing with the back panel, matching our center markings. Okay, now we're going to head over to our, well, first, make sure that your zipper is unzipped a little bit before you do that. Some zippers open really well from the wrong side, some don't, and you need to be able to turn this right side out. Now, let's head to our sewing machine and let's use a 1/2 inch seam allowance and stitch all this together. Okay, here we are. We've got the front and the back together. Let's turn it right side out and take a good look, see if we've missed anything. You're going to push those corners out. So you can see everything. Okay. It's not perfect, but that's all right. Okay. I feel really good about the way this is looking. I don't love this corner here, but that's okay. All right, now we are ready to move on to our binding. All right, let's turn it wrong side out again. We're going to take the first piece and we're going to open it up and we're going to fold that raw edge to the wrong side. And then we're going to place it like this, lining up the raw edge. And we're going to go all the way around. Here, you're going to want to cut this about an inch or so past where you started,
Or a little bit more.
Okay, and then you've got it all attached there. Let's sew this in place. Now we're going to lift that and we're just going to fold it over that raw edge. You can clip it in place if you need to. However many clips you think you need, but you're just folding it over. So now we're going to head over to our sewing machine, and I want to top stitch this all in place. I'm going to stitch it from the gusset side. Yeah. And so you really just want the edge of your binding. All right, we're going to repeat what we just did on the other side. So here we go. We've got our bag. Push those corners out. All right, so here's what our bag looks like. I filled it so you can see all of the way it kind of comes together. Yeah, I love the way it's moved out. I still have room here to fill some fun stuff in.